not done by our clinic. This is Larry. Is this beautiful? No. So all technicians will face the same issue. Why material selection is so difficult? Because we just proceed shade taking, photo, and finish. And then the dental technician take over. They take the whole responsibility to build up a nice looking porcelain. If they are not experienced enough, they will let the material look not natural. So I will perform a better one, a better protocol to make it can be done with simple way, and even your dental technician or yourself is not very experienced in digital dentistry, you can still have the right choice. We have lots of material we can choose from. So in the beginning, I want to let you have a very clear picture about the shade tab. If I choose a shade tab called 1M2, and I take a 1M2 40 block, and I took a photo in the same light, in the same distance, do you think is these two the same? How about I choose another 1M2 block? Do you like this one? Do you like this one? Never mind, I choose another block. Still 1M2. How about this one? But all 1M2. This is 1M2 shade tab. This is 1M2 block. We can let the chroma less. We choose 1M1 block. Different, right? How about 1M2 dynamic? How about SHW? HT, LT? We can link it a line. The same 1M2 shade tab, which do you like? If you chosen the tab 1M2, which material do you like on this screen? I believe we will not have the conclusion. Every dentist, every single eyes can tell different stories. So please abandon. Just abandon. You still need to have the 1M2 block, 1M2 shade tab. But please do not link so fast. If I take the shade tab 1M2 and then I will pick up a 1M2 block, this link too quick. Please abandon this procedure. If you use this protocol, you should have the shade tab and choose the same shade tab block. 50-50. Perhaps you will make the right decision, and another half, you will have the bad result. How about translucency? This is a Vita Sapinity. This is very high translucency before crystallization. Let me demonstrate the light transmission in different blocks. In the left one, we have the light on the one side. The right block, this is the same Mark II, is the light come from the up and the lower. Please just have the image. The light can go through about half. And then This is chillax. Be remember, this is A1. This is 1M1. This is almost the same shade tab. Do they look the same? This is real life. This is dynamic. This is immense, super white. This is stability before crystallization. The same block after crystallization. The same? No. This is self-traduce, HT, and this is self-traduce, LT. So we can put it together and how to choose. This is the translucency when the light transmission project on the material. I know it's very difficult, so how about that? I change a little bit. Can you see that? The color change. We can align the color, not align by shade tab. This is gray, this is light yellow, this is milk yellow. And then we have another test conduct from Serial HR. We have the measurement of the translucency of different block. So this is, the right is most opacity and the left is the most translucency. So we can order from the most translucency to the less translucency. So now I have one color, two translucency. How about combination these two information in one chart? We choose the patient's color, not shade tab. If the patient wants a gray and white color, or the patient wants a light yellow color or milk yellow color. And then, how about the translucent? If the patient neighbor teeth is highly translucent, have the incisal edge like the marmalade type, I may choose high translucency material. And then we conduct a very useful chart, but I know this screen is small, so I cannot zoom in every part. So you can take the photo and zoom in on your cell phone. On the left side, we call abutment status. Abutment status means this abutment is the white tooth color variation, narrow tooth color variation, opaque tooth color, have the discoloration or not. Incisal edge, do you need translucent or not? And this is the different material. This is the color, this material on gray, white, light yellow, gray, white, milk yellow. This is the translucency. This is the medium translucency. Real life consider low and medium translucency. Subunity consider high translucency as immense. But one milk yellow, another gray, white. This is totally different shade, not 1 and 2. For example, in this 4 beta block, in the right side you can see Mark 2 is gray, white, and the rest 3 is light yellow. So you may understand that when you choose a block, you do not just choose the strength, you choose the color first, and then decide, do you want to have high translucent or not? So let me have some demonstration here. Because the Mark II consider the medium translucency. And if your apartment status have the metal post, you want to mask it, you can use the cutback, not on the restoration, on the metal post. You cut back the metal post, and then you use the special, like the 3M A1 resin to build in the core, and then you need to have at least 1 millimeter acyl reduction to mask in this color. And what is the so-called wild tooth color variation? If you need, use two tooth shape guide to express that tooth color. That means that tooth have the wider color variation. You need to use the 40. If you can use one shade tab to express that tooth color, we call that narrow tooth color variation. And that kind of situation, we will use the Trilex. So in our point of view, it's quite easy to choose different material from I use one shape tab or two. And for this kind of the case, the patient want to repair these two central because of course they have the discoloration. I want to mask, so I need at least medium translucency to mask the discoloration. So I cannot use high translucency material like Emax. Although Emax have the LT, but in the afternoon section, you will see the Emax LT block. If you just use sand and glaze, not layering, is not aesthetic. You just have the strength, you lose your aesthetic. But the anterior region is not, but the biting force is smaller than the posterior region. So of course, I do not recommend use the Mark II Trilex to do the molar crowns. But in the paper study or in my experience, we use this kind of the material in the anterior region is quite safe. So if you use high translucent material, these two will not mask because the discoloration is too dark. This is a very simple way for you to pick up the right material first. I want to mask the discoloration, I need medium translucency. But if you use the low translucency, that will consider less aesthetic, right? So the best part of the Vita block, the Mark II Trilex 40 is all in medium translucency. And the Dynamic, this one is new, is low translucency. But how to use the Dynamic in aesthetic zone is still in afternoon sections. Still can be used and still very highly aesthetic, but in special scenario. And this is the high strength ceramic, which is the so-called like ZLS, like Sapinity, Celtradu, or this is disilicate Emax. You can see when we put these three together, this OHT, which is the most high translucency. You can see from the screen, Emax, when you use the light transmission to these 3 HT block, it may almost lighten the whole block, and the subunity and cell schedule just half. So the EMAS is gray-white, subunity and cell schedule is milk yellow. So these two and this one is different. But today we will not highly mention about the VLS. So if you use the Mach 2 subunity or dynamic to do this kind of tools, does this patient have any incisal edge translucency? No, that's called opaque. If you see this kind of the patient opaque and white, you can use like Mach 2 because the category of the color of the Mach 2 is gray and white. And another kind of restoration you can use is dynamic because it's opaque. But it's hard to stand it on the dynamic if you need translucency. So the dynamic has a new product called multicolor 6-layer dynamic. We will let you see the power of 6-layer dynamic in the afternoon section. So with this kind of the chart, this case, this patient come our clinic and say, "Hi, doctor, I want to repair this tooth." And again, we can have the shade tag. One shade tag means narrow tooth color variation. So Chilex is very easy to apply this kind of situation. And the second thing is this patient neighbor teeth like the 2-2 and 1-2 is the gray white or yellow. It's yellow, right? So I will not use the EMAS because this is yellow. The EMAS is gray white. I will not use the Mach 2 because Mach 2 is gray white. And this patient, and then comes the translucency. Do I need to mask the discoloration? Yes, I need to mask the discoloration. So I need at least medium translucent material like Chilex 40. Since I have just one tab, so I choose Chilex. But this patient say to me, by the way, doctor, could you mind align my tooth central to better alignment and my distal out, VCO in. I also want my tooth to look nicer. And orthodontic treatment, no. Again, they just want to use the restoration to change their alignment. So I prep, because these two teeth is necrosis, it's the post-root canal treatment. So after we prepare, we check the cross section, we have a very best fit on restoration, and then this is Chilex, 2 central incisor Chilex. And I almost do very little trauma when I remove the resin cement. And this another tip. When you remove resin cement, we use Violink aesthetic light Q resin cement. We do not use Dura Q resin cement in the anterior teeth. The reason, I believe all dentists know the reason. How to remove the cement without trauma your gingiva like this one. This is the same day. This same day, you can see here, still have some mark here. This is the deliver. After I clean the cement, I take the photo. You need to use larger light Q head. the light cube. Oh, for this one, as a demonstration, this light cube head, this is a very regular light cube head, cannot use in anterior when you want to cure the resin cement and proceed minimal traumatic remove resin cement technique. I use the light cube tip twice bigger, at about twice dimension, and they have 5 mold can be selected. We need to use the soft mold and just curing 2 seconds. Not spot curing. You use the wider head, 2 seconds, soft mold. That means the light, when it starts light cube, no power. When start light cube, it decreases the light cube power to half. And then when the time goes, it increases the density of the power. So if you use this kind of the light cube, perhaps it will too strong. And the second, this kind of the tip, this area, the dentist will consider this is the lens, right? This is the glass. I use the very special equipment. This is not glass. This have the elastic. It can be pushed in and it will regain the shape. So you can close to your restoration and start to light cube 2 seconds and pull out. If this is very hard, like the glass, this is glass. When you touch the teeth, you will move the veneer. So I will cure it about 2 seconds on the buccal, on the palatal, just 2 seconds. And then use the number 12 knife. You can pick up the whole resin cement, because in that stage we call doff stage. You do not finish the curing, but resin cement stop flowing. So when you pick it up, it will one piece, separate from your margin. So I do not clean any cement. When I put my restoration in my apartment, the cement will flow out, right? Don't clean it. Just light cube 2 seconds with wider head, soft mold, and then stop. And you use number 12 knife, you can pick up the one piece, just like polycarboxylate. If we use the polycarboxylate cement PFM or zirconia crown, when the polycarboxylate in the doff stage, it will soft and can be taken out. It's not hard. It's not very hard. Hard to remove. So there's many tips I want to share with you to make the gingiva smoother. So this is a Trilex, and of course, according to the patient demand, she wants these 2 teeth align better. This can be done just in the series software. So this is before, this is after. So now we can manage the stand. We can choose the right block. I know this block needs medium translucency. I know the neighbor is light yellow. Not just choosing the block from the shade tab. You already see one shade tab, every block tells a different story. So this is not a good way to pick up a correct material. So you need to understanding if you want to have you want to have the one visit dentistry in aesthetic area, the blood selection is almost the most critical part. If you, in this case, use Emax, I'm finished. I cannot use the same technique to let it look like this one, because the underlying structure is not the color. You need to spend lots of time, stand, and go to the oven and put it in the patient's mouth, and patient say, oh my God. And you need to restand, and find out, oh, I make you 2 temp. You go home, I take an impression, I send to the lab, let the lab do the rest. And you call the Vita, call the rest manufacturer and say, please do not tell me another story about one visit dentistry in aesthetic zone. It's failed. I use 1 afternoon, I use 2 afternoons. I want to correct the shape, but patients still unsatisfied because the raw material selection. Is that so? No. Before lunch break, the most important part is here. Not the the part I just mentioned is just one critical part. I want to combination the whole process for you that will be divided into 5 steps. So if you want to have very correct material selection, and you do not have necessary to have much experience as I do, because after all, we can have over 500 restorations per month. So I have lots of experience. And in our clinic, over 66% of restoration is anterior. So we have lots of experience every month. You do not necessarily to have to accumulate that experience. You just from the step 1 to the step 5, and you will have the correct material selection in one time. The incisal edge comes first. If you photo like this one to the right, so the incisal edge cannot see very clearly, you need to change the color in the software, and you can see better in your incisal edge translucency. And the software, you can call out a chart and then put this point to the right, to the lower right, and then the tooth color will change. Or if you have the equipment called the polo eye, you can just shoot the photo with the polo eyes, and this will become this one. You can see through the whole incisal edge alignment. And this is very convenient for the dental technician, and of course for you to judge, can I promise the patient this can be finished in 1 day or not? We mentioned about that before, that will divide in 3, Marbella type, bus type, and devil head type. This is the demonstration of Marbella type, bus type, and devil head type. Devil head type means they will have some enamel projection or dentin projection here. This is very difficult. Use the stem technique to stem it. So if you see this kind of incisal edge, please layer it. But I have not had the correct number of this kind of patient. 1 year, perhaps 5 to 6 patients will consider devil head type. The rest, or 99%, will be in these 2. And if you cannot tell this patient is box type or Marvello type, please make your life easier. Always box type. Box type is very easy to stand, and Marvello type, not so easy. So always have the category box type. And the second choice, Marvello type. If you see the devil head type, give up. Take the impression, send to the lab, capillary. This is the only kind of situation we cannot conquer. So the first evaluation is incisor edge. This is the Marvello type. This is the Marvello type. This is we stand as the Marvello type. This is the box type. Okay? It's very simple. Box type. Box type. Light translucent here. It's very easy for you. And then, thinking about that, if you already know this patient is not devil head type, and this patient piece is not opaque, so either box type or Marvello type, right? Do you want to use single layer, double layer, or multi-layer block? Double layer or multi-layer block, because the more layer, the more translucency will appear in the incisor curve. What is single layer block? Mark II, that is a single layer block. No translucency. The whole block is the same translucency. The multi-layer, double layer, they have the different translucency in between. So if you see you have the box type or Marvello type, I was thinking about I need double layer or multi-layer, not the brand, not the Chilex, not the 40, not the Celtra, not the something else. I just thinking about layer. I want one layer, two layer, or multi-layer, not the brand. And then texture. The second part, when you decide your incisor edge, and then go to the texture. The outline, the outer surface of the incisor. The texture will be divided into 5. Line angle, developmental groove, developmental lobe, transverse groove, and transition zone. Okay, this is if you shoot the picture correctly, you will see the line angle. But if you want to do modelings with the digital dentistry, do not just shoot this one. You need another one we call the 12 o'clock. It's easy to shoot because in this picture, the dental technician may see 2 distal line angles on central incisors. Almost 1 mesial line angle on central incisors. Some patients have 2 distal line angles on central incisor. You need to take 12 o'clock picture for your technician. And of course, they can see the incisor edge translucency also from the 12 o'clock, I know. But the most valuable information to the dental technician is line angle distribution. So these 2 pictures, which is better? We can see here. Do you see the line angle? It's different, right? So if you use the rim flash, not twin flash, to take the anterior photo, it will be a disaster. Do not use rim flash to take anterior photo. Always twin flash, separate, and as separate as you can. Some twin flash act like rim. They are very narrow, close to your vein. That is considered still rim, not twin. You need a framework wider and have the distance to make the light have the shadow to let you see this line angle. This line angle is not for you, dentists. is for your technician. If they do not see the line angle, how can they make the vivid anterior restoration? How to make it biogenetic? No. And then this is the developmental groove and developmental lobe. Where is the developmental groove and the lobe? This is line angle, and in the line angle we have the developmental lobe. In between is developmental groove. But the most important part is not just saying, hey, I want to developmental groove, I want some developmental lobe. No, you need to let the technician know the position and area. So your photo need side photo, and use the twin to make the shadow, to let your dental technician understand where is your developmental groove and your lobe. This is line angle. This can be seen from your side shoot. And then this is the distal line angle. Here is the developmental lobe, and this is the area. This can be duplicated on your CEREC machine. So every details is already present on your patient's tooth over your waist up. You need to shoot it correctly. This just takes you about 1 minute to take a photo. It's very quick. And how about another view, look up view? You can tell this is the area you want to make it vivid. This area cannot be seen if you have the frontal view only, right? And look up view, also you need to see the transverse groove. Is this patient have the transverse groove? Yes, a little, right? You need to photo a look up view, very quick. 1 minute, pia, 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 and finish. And then your dental technician will have the fully information to make the restoration model list. And this is another very important part we call transition zone. Transition zone comes from the line angle and the contact point. And this in between, the area in between is transition zone. Transition zone in central incisor. This whole transition zone is wider than mesial transition zone. So the mesial line angle will be stronger than distal line angle. The distal line angle will a little straight, the mesial line angle will a little straight, the distal line angle will a little avoid. So you need to take the photo, this side photo, to let your dental technician understand how much is your transition zone. Otherwise, some technician will let the tooth inflate. And some of dentists will consider, oh, flat, that means the line angle is not strong enough. No, the line angle perhaps is strong enough. The transition zone is too short, and the tooth will consider flat. And after you took all these photos and now shade taking, you need to decide what is the shade. Do you want to masking? Do you have the discoloration where? And the neighbor tooth hue, gray, light yellow, or milk yellow. So now, this chart, we show this again. When we see this color, gray, light yellow, milk yellow, that's mean this gray, light yellow, and milk yellow, we will see the neighbors, not this apartment. This apartment want to make a restoration and want to just the same as their neighbor, as their adjacencies. So this upper bar indicate the neighbor tooth color, and the lower bar means the apartment itself. Does this apartment need masking? If you need masking, you need the medium translucent or low translucent material. If not, you can use the medium translucent or high translucent material. Make sense? Okay, so you still need to pick up the shade tab, and then which material fit the shade tab. Every material fit the shade tab 1 and 2. Every brand, every manufacturer, they always have the 1 and 2 block. Which one fit this patient's need? Look at the upper bar. And this apartment need to be masked or not. Please see the lower bar. And now you can choose your material. The CAD, we proceed from the incisal edge, the texture, and the masking. How about the CAD? If we just take the block and I don't know the CEREC, I don't know anything else, I just know this block. The CAD means this is monolithic. This is a single layer, this is a multi-layer, this is a double layer. Do you need layering block? Do you need 3-layer block? Do you need 2-layer block? Do you need no layer block? And this can be used in your software. Do you need line angle? Do you need developmental groove? Do you need developmental low? Do you need something else? And then this CAD will link. This is a very juicy information for you and your co-worker dental technician. If you photo the photo we mentioned, if you want to have the incisal edge translucent like box type, in the CAD, they will use the can to align the multi-layer block. If you have the line angle, you want to stronger, they will use the foam tool and the database, tooth database, to choose the correct strong line angle anterior tooth for you. If you have developed groove and low, you have the incisal variation tool. That is a function on the software. And of course, you can choose from the database. That is very important. So this picture all indicate how to manage your CAD software. So every dental technician can be proceed standard operation procedure. If you have this characteristic on your tooth surface, I will use this tool. If you do not have this characteristic, I will leave it alone. And then, finally, in this 5 steps, I can from incisal edge, texture, masking, CAD, and material, and then I can choose which brand. This is not a quick link. Oh, this tooth, Chalice. No, I need more information, but the whole process, I'm all talking about the detail to you. So, 12 o'clock, we will have the lunch break. So I have still 10 minutes. I can finish this demonstration for you. Okay, this is the patient I demonstrate here. This patient wants to change tooth to 1 and tooth to 2. I am not agree with this patient because I tell the patient this alignment is not good, and do you see your tooth 2-1 is wider than your tooth 1-1? So may I use the also to treat your teeth before, and then we can correct your tooth color after. Because this is the PFM, this is post root canal treatment and discoloration. And this lady, again, no, do not use orthodontic treatment. And I know my tooth 2-1 a little wider than tooth 1-1. And I say, yes, so I can break this impression and use the veneer to realign these two central incisors. But the patient say again, no, please just do these two restoration and just like my central incisor 1-1, as translucent as you can. And I say, you mean I use the block one visit treatment to let this one like this one, even it's wider than your tooth 1-1, and as translucent as here, yes. So we start from incisor edge evaluation. This patients, I highlight the incisor edge. I believe this is the Marvelon type. This is very hard to tell. This is box type. It's usually the Marvelon type. So since I use Marvelon type, so perhaps I use the double layer, multi-layer. Double layer, multi-layer, that's fine, but single layer, no. And then, how about the line angle or the texture? We've mentioned before, the line angle here, and the developmental groove, and the lobe, and the position, and the area. Does this patient have the developmental groove and lobe? Yes, they have both. If they have these two, I need to know the position and area. Here. Does this patient have transverse groove? No. No is no. No means no. Nothing here. Okay, so we do not have to use the incisor variation tool in the software. And does this patient have the transition zone? Does that very big? Yes. So you need to point here and let the dental technician know you need to stronger your mesial line angle and have the space to maintain this transition zone. And I take the shape guide, and this need to be masked because the tooth 2-1 is discoloration, and the masked area holds, and the hue about light yellow. So here, this is the chart. The upper see the neighbor, the lower see yourself, see abutment yourself. The neighbor, I believe, is light yellow. Not gray, not white, but it's not milky yellow. Do I need to mask? Of course I need to mask. So I need the medium translucency block. So it will narrow down my block selection. And then I will have the conclusion indicate that this patient incisor edge translucency, yes. This is Marvelon type. Have the line angle? Yes. Have the developmental groove and lobe? Yes. Have the transverse groove? No. The transition zone? Yes. Do I need to mask it? Yes. So the dental technician will fully understand how to operate the software with which material or not to use the material. And I need to prep buckle side heavily to make these two developmental group and developmental law vivid. So this is the way we choose how to design in the software. And then finally, I decided to use the multi-layer chalice because it's a narrow, just one tab, just one shade tab, narrow tooth color variation. So I believe I used the front view. These two. I changed to these two. I know it's wider, but I already tell the patient your tooth one will wider. But the incisal edge translucency, if I choose my material correctly, I can make it be just like the tooth one. That we call the Marvell type. The other case is the same. We do lots of this kind of cases to make sure this work process is fine and can be controlled. So in the morning section, I will stop here because it's about to have the lunch. Is there any questions in the morning section? If you have the question, and I will be answered in the question I can be answered in the afternoon section, I will let you know. Is there any question you want to let me know in this morning section? Please.
Their longevity, about 4 years, something like that. So is it the concept is changed right now for the training?
Yeah, because the external stand, the longevity of the external stand now is 10 to 11 years. And 11 years means the delta E will increase to let the human eyes can tell that we need 11 years. I believe that is quite enough. Yeah.
And then my second question is about to choose the block. If there is some situation like I would like to use the light yellow block, but the tooth is very translucency. Yeah, how can we solve this problem in that situation?
Afternoon section. That's the afternoon section. So the morning section is beginning, is the easy part. The afternoon section will be stronger and more detailed review. Yes.
Can you relate that about the color, the light yellow, gray, or maybe get to the type of